Well, here we are, about to head down to the NRL Fan Fest. Lockie, you're going to get on the Broncos bus, I'm going to get on the Storm bus, and we'll have a chat to the lads.
All right, mate, see you at the other end.
All right, boom. Media van, if he's got a media van. Harry,
William?
up in Sydney now. How's that changed the feel of the group?
Yeah, the feel starts to get a little bit real of, what's building and what's going to be on us on Sunday, but it's all about not being in a rush to get to Sunday and, about enjoying it.
You would have dreamt about being in this moment after 2015. Did you think it would come this year?
No, I didn't, mate. The more the years rolled on, the more you thought that, it was never going to come. But to be back there now, 10 years on, and back with this great club, it's pretty special, mate.
Big Tui, the last seat at the back of the bus. Is that saved for the security guard?
Yeah, just looking after the boys to make sure they're behaving in the bus.
DJ Ricky, what sort of tunes do you go for?
I'm not sure really, just anything that lightens up the mood on the bus, so gets the boys going.
Were you first on the bus today, or was that just yesterday?
No, that's another thing they did to me. Harry told me to go first, and I thought we were all walking out together, and turned behind and everyone was waiting back there.
The wave of support from the fans, have you felt that since Sunday and moving into this game?
Yeah, it's been massive, to be honest. That's what we do it for. We do it for the people of Brisbane, and we felt that support. So I can't wait to see it again this Sunday, and we'll do it for them.
Do you like getting in the feel of grand final week?
Yeah, I think you have to. I think it's important. You got to know how big the occasion is, and it is just a game. But while you're training, you feel that intensity and feel the emotions of it. It's everything you dream of as a kid, and you get to play that. Yeah.
Billy and Lockie on the bus with our two grand final teams ahead of Sunday's big match. And I'm pleased to say Lockie saved on his Uber fare tonight, came in with Reynolds and Madge. Great to see you, fellas. Adam Reynolds, Michael Maguire, congratulations on both being grand final bound on Sunday night. Can't wait for what's ahead. Adam, Sunday Arvo, amazing scenes at Suncorp, and then a couple of days later, you're back there and you've got 5,000 fans cheering you on at training. You guys must be feeling the love big time at the moment.
Yeah, we are. Well, from all reports, they could have probably sold the stadium out 3 or 4 times. So, the support's been amazing, not only on the weekend and through the week, but the whole year. They've been fantastic every step of the way, and looking forward to seeing them down here on Sunday.
Sunday, well, that was an amazing day. And then you had stepped up and you had that moment on your own, the goal kick. Can you quickly take us through? And at any stage through the kicks, I watched the ball the way it's shaped. Did you ever think it was going to miss?
Well, I couldn't actually see it when I kicked it. There was a light right up in that corner. So I lost it for a split second there. And it wasn't until I seen it actually come down and through the post that I realised it was over. The crowd sort of gave it an indication, which they knew it was over before I did. So I was pretty happy to see it go through the post.
So it bent and then sort of come back a bit later. I was a bit nervous for you. How was that moment, standing there then? Like, given your past and what you went through, especially at South Sydney, how was that?
No, it was good. Well, the one at South Sydney did the same thing, just didn't go through the post. It actually came back the other way as well. So, obviously those moments as a kicker, you want those challenges. And look, the hours I spend at training, through the season, off season, as a junior, all the way through, it pays off.
What about, this is probably a question for both of you, the noise at Suncorp on Sunday. Is that the loudest you've played in front of?
Yeah, it was definitely the loudest I've ever felt. I mean, when Dean Mariner scored, I tried to compose myself and calm myself down because I knew I had the kick to come. But looking up at the stadium was amazing. I've never experienced anything like that. I mean, you could actually feel it, how loud they were. And in the end, I think they're the ones that got us home.
What about the coach's box, mate? What's it like up there?
Yeah, Lockie, you don't tend to hear a lot, but the actual window was vibrating with the amount of noise that was bouncing off it. It was an amazing stadium.
And do you think that it helps the players? It must.
Oh, definitely, without a doubt. I mean, our players talk about it. We're fortunate we get big crowds, and the players really enjoy having them on the ride. It makes it just so special. And to see that game, that was one of the most amazing sort of experiences I've had, with a crowd right from the start, right to the finish, even 20 minutes or 30 minutes after the game, they were still there cheering and enjoying the moment.
More than Canberra? Like, Canberra that was a totally different sort of story, wasn't it? What
That was
went on
inside
there?
the coach's box.
Yeah.
It was loud inside.
My head nearly popped off in that one. So, but that was the same. I must admit, the Canberra crowd, they were great too. But obviously different circumstances. And but when you got 50,000 fans, pretty well all there for your team, that was a great experience.
Like, you've had some big moments in your career, but that one, winning the Canberra game, like the exuberation in the box was, just amazing to see.
I'd never been probably Freddie on a ride like that.
Now that's a celebration badge.
Hey, that is
quite embarrassing,
out of body
actually.
experience.
That was. I mean, we went through that game, and towards the end, you thought, we'd probably lost twice.
Yeah.
But we just stayed alive. But the belief in the group, which I've found over the last sort of 2 months, we've been through situations where they've had to chase games. So this group's always alive. And then to sort of see that they got the win, definitely I showed a bit of emotion.
There's no coaching furnace like the Broncos gig, and you knew that going there, Madge. But the Wolves, they were howling halfway through the season and calling for your head. Would you have ever pictured you'd be sitting here right now, 3 days out from a grand final?
Oh, look, you'd probably not at that moment in time was I thinking that. But did I believe that the group was capable of doing something? Yeah, I did. I felt that, they were... we had to have a bit of an adjustment. They had to work out the coach, and they changed the way they did things. And to the leaders, I've got a special group there that really jumped on board with what we were doing, and just basically took off from there.
Both of you won your first premiership, Reynolds under Madge at South. What's that? It's 11 years ago, is it? 11 years ago. And I guess you've played in 2 since then, lost both close games.
Yep.
What did you take away from those 2 games?
Yeah, I think it's about moments. Certainly had opportunities in both of those games to, change the result. Unfortunately, for me, that didn't happen. But you definitely got to make the most of your moments. There's little moments in games that add up to big moments, and the more of those little moments we can win, that'll contribute to the scoreline in the end.
You're only a kid there. You're the captain now. You had Sam Burgess and Greg Inglis. They were leading the way there. How different is it at the moment?
A little bit different. I mean, the knowledge is a lot greater these days. I got the C on my chest there, but I've got some great leaders in our team as well. Our leadership group's been fantastic this season, and they've shared the load. I've been out for a number of weeks prior to last week, and I thought in my absence they stood up and done a fantastic job. So, we'll need every bit of that on Sunday if we want to get the job done.
Got a great history with your rival coach as well, Madge, in Craig Bellamy's successes, and we're going to have him in the studio a little later on. Extraordinary at this time of the year, but this is just another one of those stories that's interwoven into this script, which makes for an epic on Sunday night. Can you give us an insight into the super coach?
Yeah, I'm very grateful to Craig, obviously the opportunity he gave me. I started my coaching as an assistant coach at Canberra, and then the opportunity went to go down to Melbourne, and that's probably when I realised, I really enjoy this job, and the fact that we had a bit of success there through that time really made me hungry for more. And I guess that's something there that we all had when we were down there, just that work ethic. And if you work hard enough at what you want to achieve, you can actually achieve it. So they're the things that I guess I took away from that time.
I think the other part is the consistency they got. They do it year on year on year. And what's the secret to that, do you think?
Oh, look, I sort of see the leaders that I have at the moment. If they keep going on the path that they're going, that you can actually build that. I think that's the key to everything, is your leadership of your team. And I was fortunate, when I was at South, there was a bit of a change because I lost Sammy Burgess, Benny T and a few others, so that sort of subtly changed. So I've learned a lot through that period to build, obviously, consistency within a team. But, we've obviously got... Sunday ahead, we've got to achieve that first. That's the first port for this group, and they're very hungry at the moment. They've been a pleasure to coach, to be honest. I've really enjoyed it. They're gone through the challenges that we had throughout the year, but they've bitten down, and that we're having a lot of fun doing what we're doing.
You talk about paths. I feel like we're all on Reece Walsh's path. I love being part of his world, like being up there on Sunday. Can you give us an insight into what's going on in Reece's world?
Yeah, well, I mean, as much as you probably see Reece with the external stuff, internally, he's a real footy head. The amount of work that he does, like we stand out on the field after training, he's last in, he's out there working his craft, or whether it's a 40-20 or it's a pass, and he's always grabbing his teammates to try and make sure they're exactly right at moments. And what Renault was sort of talking about there before, about these games are about moments, and that's the practice that he's doing currently to be able to achieve the way he is.
The return of Paddy Carrigan, Renaud, does that only enhance his chances of really stepping up, Walsh, on Sunday night?
Yeah, I think so. He controls the middle of the field nicely, Paddy. I mean, he's a link between the spine there, and you know, he's got more than one string to his bow as well. He's a nice carrier of the ball. Him and Payne, a 1-2 punch, creates some momentum for us. Yeah, it's certainly nice to sit behind and play.
Well, you mentioned Payne. I thought when he went down against Canberra, I thought we might lose him, but he fought his way back into that game, and then just the statistics around his performances and what he did last week against Penrith. Like, just explain, why is he a freak?
Well, how hard he works on himself, you know. In the pre-season, he's probably the fittest in our group. He'd be up there with one of the quickest. I mean, he's just so professional in the gym. He's, like Madge said, he's first in, probably last to leave. So it's no fluke. We get to see it firsthand, but just the motor that he's got and the will and the strength to keep going. Yeah, I've never quite seen anything like it. So I'm glad he's on my side and, yeah, get to follow him around the field.
What about when him and Stefano come together? What are you expecting?
Yuck.
That's a sandwich you don't want to be in, isn't it, Adam? Gentlemen, we cannot be more thankful for you guys coming in tonight for our grand final countdown special live here at the Channel 9 studios. Can't wait to see you Sunday.